Welcome to another set of podcast.
When onions hit 700 pesos a kilo in the Philippines, something remarkable happened. Instead of protests, people made memes. When floods rise knee-deep, you'll find Filipinos floating on styrofoam boxes, with music playing. Today, we're exploring why Filipinos keep smiling through struggles, what this reveals about cultural resilience, and how this unique spirit shapes their approach to life's challenges.
You know, what's fascinating is that this isn't just about being happy-go-lucky. Research shows it's actually a sophisticated coping mechanism that's been developed over generations.
Really? Tell me more about that.
Well, according to recent studies, Filipinos have what researchers call an indomitable spirit. They're known survivors of circumstances, consistently emerging stronger from challenges.
But how does this actually work in practice?
It starts with what's called bayanihan, this incredible spirit of communal unity. When crises arise, families and neighborhoods band together, sharing resources and providing both emotional and practical support.
So it's really a collective effort rather than individual resilience?
Exactly. And what's particularly interesting is how this plays out in Filipino households. Multiple generations often live under one roof, creating this constant support system.
That's fascinating. But what about when things get really tough?
Well, that's where another key aspect comes in, their use of humor. Studies show that Filipinos use humor not just for entertainment, but as an essential psychological and social mechanism.
Wait, so you're saying laughter is actually a survival strategy?
Absolutely. Research indicates that humor serves multiple functions. It helps with stress relief, emotional regulation, and even facilitates conversations about sensitive topics.
That's incredible. Can you give us an example?
Sure. When prices soar, instead of just complaining, Filipinos turn it into a national inside joke. They create memes, share funny stories, and find ways to laugh about it together.
And this actually helps?
According to behavioral psychologists, it does. They've found that this isn't escapism, it's a form of resilience that helps people anchor themselves during difficult times.
That's really interesting. But there must be more to it than just humor, right?
Yes, there's also a deep spiritual component. Faith serves as a guiding moral code and source of hope during difficult times.
How does that manifest in daily life?
Well, there's this phrase, bahala na, which is often misunderstood. It's not about hopelessness, it actually represents a deep trust in divine support and acceptance of things beyond one's control.
That's a really different interpretation than what most people might assume.
And what's remarkable is how this combines with their sense of hope. Recent surveys show that about 90% of Filipinos start each new year with hope, despite facing numerous challenges.
That's an incredibly high percentage. What drives that optimism?
It's called pag-asa, a deeply rooted cultural concept of hope and resilience. It's not just optimism, it's a way of life shaped by generations of experience.
And how does this translate into modern life?
Interestingly, it's evolved with technology. Filipinos spend over 9 hours a day online, more than any other country, but they're using it for connection and coping.
Really? How so?
They use social media and online platforms to share their experiences, create supportive communities, and maintain their cultural practice of finding joy in simple things.
That's fascinating. But are there any downsides to this approach?
Yes, research has identified some risks. Using humor as a coping mechanism can sometimes lead to avoiding serious issues or becoming a barrier to meaningful problem solving.
How do people balance that?
Mental health professionals recommend developing humor-based stress management strategies while still addressing underlying issues directly.
That makes sense. What about the role of family in all this?
Family is actually considered the foundation of Filipino resilience. Research shows it's the basic unit where full attention and love is focused, sometimes to the point of self-sacrifice.
That's quite intense.
It is, but studies show this strong family support system creates a crucial safety net that helps people face challenges with more confidence.
How does this play out in times of crisis?
During natural disasters or economic hardships, extended families often pool resources and provide emotional support. It's a practical application of that bayanihan spirit we talked about earlier.
And this system actually works?
Research indicates it does. When community support programs are implemented, there's a potential 70% increase in people seeking help and support during difficult times.
That's a significant number.
And what's particularly interesting is how this combines with their spiritual beliefs to create a comprehensive support system.
Can you elaborate on that?
The combination of family support, community solidarity, and spiritual faith creates what researchers call a triple shield against adversity.
That's really interesting. How does this manifest in younger generations?
Studies show that Gen Z and millennials are actually leading the charge in normalizing mental health conversations while maintaining these traditional support systems.
So they're finding a balance between old and new approaches?
Exactly. They're combining traditional values with modern mental health awareness, creating what some researchers call a hybrid resilience model.
That's fascinating. What about the impact of social media?
Research shows they're using platforms like TikTok and social media not just for entertainment, but to build supportive communities and share coping strategies.
So it's like a digital version of bayanihan?
Precisely. They're adapting traditional community support systems to modern platforms, creating what some call digital bayanihan.
That's really powerful. What can others learn from this approach?
Studies suggest that this combination of humor, community support, and spiritual faith could be a valuable model for building resilience in other cultures.
Are there any specific examples of this in action?
Yes, research shows that when communities adopt similar support systems, they see significant improvements in mental health outcomes and overall well-being.
That's really encouraging.
And what's particularly noteworthy is how this approach helps people not just survive challenges, but actually grow stronger through them.
It really challenges our assumptions about adversity, doesn't it?
Absolutely. The research shows that resilience isn't just about enduring hardship, it's about finding ways to maintain hope and connection through it.
So what's the key takeaway here?
The data suggests that it's the combination of community support, spiritual faith, and the ability to find joy even in difficult times that creates true resilience.
That's really powerful. Any final thoughts?
Yes, studies consistently show that this approach not only helps people survive challenges, but actually leads to greater emotional intelligence and stronger communities.
So when life gives you expensive onions, make memes, lean on your community, and trust in your ability to overcome. That's what the research shows works. Well, that brings us to the end of today's episode of Co-Pilot Podcasts. Remember, sometimes the strongest response to adversity isn't anger or despair. It's a smile backed by the power of community, faith, and that remarkable Filipino spirit. Thanks for listening.